Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. After 4.5 years, the comeback to the platform has finally been completed. The reason why it took so long was from injuries, and then I was gonna do a meet but COVID happened, and then after that I got in a car accident and a whole bunch of other stuff. But as you may have saw, POWERSURGE 12 happened. I competed at it, sponsored at it, and that was my first official return to the platform. It was an amazing experience. The powerlifting community is always a great time, and I was super happy to be able to be a part of it once again. So in today's video, I just want to recap the meet in its entirety and go over my lifts, kind of what my thoughts about the meet were, and where I intend to go from here. So without further ado, we can start with the actual meet prep. Going into the meet, I had some setbacks, aches and pains, like who doesn't? You may have seen me tweak my back and made some videos about that, but by and large, going into the meet, I did have a bit of like glute pain still and some residual concussion symptoms with the headaches and such, but I felt decent, and I surprisingly weighed in at 64.66 kilos. Yeah, pretty light. I did lose some weight during COVID, so my thoughts are I probably didn't gain all that weight back yet. And also leading into a meet, I tend to get a little stressed and kind of maybe subconsciously water loading or watching what I eat just to try to make weight. But I actually did sign up at 74 kilos, so I didn't technically make weight. But I guess I'm just a small boy. And honestly, looking at the other 66 kilos around me, I am pretty small. Alright, so weigh-ins were done and I was warming up for squats. I was a little nervous, to be honest, a little bit of anxiety, not really sure, like, how do I do this again? Am I gonna squat to depth? But honestly, it was fine. Went up for my first squat, 190 kilos, smoked it, felt pretty easy, 3 white lights. Was having a good time up there. And then we moved on to 205 kilos. With 205 kilos, this is actually the heaviest that I've squatted in a long time. The heaviest I've actually squatted in competition leading up to this was only 200 kilos. So 205 kilos was kind of the number, so to speak, in terms of what I was looking for or something that I would be happy walking away with. And 205 kilos felt pretty good. It moved better than it felt, and no real complaints there, but it was a bit of work. After this, there wasn't really anything else to go for aside from maybe chipping my provincial record, which is at 218 kilos. So we loaded 218.5 because why the hell not? Like, it's a local meet, there's no risk on the table, and it was just heavy. I missed it. I was initially thinking something around like 210 to 215, but because I felt good to load 215, we just said, you know, it's only an extra 3-ish kilos, let's just load that instead. But yeah, I did have a bit of a headache after that. Felt like I wanted to pass out from it, just from all the pressure. But squats were done. I was a little, you know, beat up about it, but honestly, I can't really be too sad. Expectations are pretty much like whatever at this meet. Plus, I'm only here to deadlift anyways, and more on that later. But first, we have to move on to bench press. And with bench press, it felt pretty good. I was having some wrist pain going into the meet. Put some wrist wraps on, it was pretty much negligible. I opened with 130 kilos, which moved very well. Then I jumped to 137.5, and that was really hard. Like, my back was cramping, I think I hit the rack, and overall it was a bit of a grind, and I was like, man, that was a lot heavier than it should be. And I pretty much had the notion of like just scratching my third, like I didn't even want to do it. But we put in 140 anyways. I kind of wanted to put on 143 kilos to try to chip my provincial record again, but that didn't work so well on squats, so we just ended up putting 140 kilos. I went up to the bar, no expectations, and it moved better when 137.5. So yeah, I guess never give up. You never know what's gonna happen. But yeah, it was a pretty long day. Like, in between the lifts, I was going to the crowd, I was talking to people, just kind of enjoying myself, having a good time. And to be honest, I was kind of like, is powerlifting meets really that fun? Squats and bench are just kind of okay. You know, am I really enjoying this? But then as soon as we got to deadlifts, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this a lot. And warming up for deadlifts felt fantastic. Everything was feeling really good. My warm-ups were flying, and then when I got onto the actual platform to pull my opener 265 kilos, it moved very fast, very good. Told you. I think I have moved it better in the past, but you know, can't really complain about that. But then we put on 286.5 kilos, which is the unofficial national record at the time. Smoked it, but it wasn't perfect. It kind of got caught a little bit. I think my timing was a little off. And honestly, looking back at the footage, I feel like I was giving up my back position a little more, probably because it was just a lot of hype first time back on the platform, and I think all the cheering and whatnot got to me a little bit. But then we moved on to 298 kilos, which was the unofficial world record at the time, and unfortunately missed it. I've done a lot of reflection on this, and honestly going through XYZ, like maybe for the 69th time I might get rid of my hip pump. The other thing that I want to do is probably provide myself some more patience and not allow my back to fold when the weight gets a little heavy and pull me forward. And I also want to have a much more relaxed face. One other thing, I think being more relaxed can help me with that patience and also just look better, maybe. But to be honest, by and large, I can't really complain. These are just some reflections, but I honestly just need to get stronger. Like, there's nothing else to really say. And on that note, in terms of where I would like to go from here, a lot of people are asking me, hey, you're gonna do nationals, you're back, blah, 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 blah. I might go to nationals. I think I have the vacation time to go, but I don't really want to do another meet yet. And the reason for that is I feel like I just want to make some gains. I want to PR all my lifts in the gym. I want to make some really serious progress before I start considering doing that stuff again. But I do want to do another meet. Like, I paid for a membership anyway, so why not? But first things first, I just want to get in the gym, get stronger, start doing some other activities as well. Like, I did rock climb for a little bit, so I'm kind of itching to get back into that, do some more Olympic lifting and all that kind of stuff. But all in all, that was how the meet went. I went 7 for 9, I think a 631.5 kilo total at 64.66 kilo body weight, which honestly is pretty good for first time back. Like, I didn't expect to be where I am now. I thought I would just go in and maybe squat like 400 pounds, bench like 275, and maybe pull 600 pounds. So yeah, this is pretty good. But it's funny because once you kind of get into it, you're never satisfied, right? You always want more, you always think you can do better. But when I zoom out, I'm just really happy to be able to have the opportunity to even step back on the platform again and enjoy myself. And it's funny how I went from a place of I don't even want to lift anymore, it sucks, to I'd just be happy just to do something in the gym again, to I want to PR every little freaking thing that I can, you know? I always said the day I quit powerlifting is the day I don't have fun anymore, and this meet proves that that day is not here yet. So yeah. So thank you again, guys, for your support. I couldn't be back on the platform without you guys. It was amazing to share the experience with all of you, to meet all the new faces in powerlifting and the old, and just to be part of the community again. The next meet that we'll be at is probably Grit Power. We'll be helping out the athletes there as a sponsor again. And obviously, if you guys have any issues, whether you're dealing with some pain or injuries or you need some coaching, feel free to reach out. I'm here for you. Or even if you just want to chat, you know where to find me. The last thing I did want to mention is we did reach 666 subscribers. So what does that mean? I don't really know. The number of the beast, Gina will probably know. Perhaps we'll do another Q&A if you guys have questions, or for any new followers, if you want to know more about me. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys may have, so you can drop them in the comments below. I'm also hoping to get some new stuff made, but no real timeline on that. Design wise, that's kind of a whole nother story that I won't get into. But perhaps we will also do a little giveaway. I did end up winning Best Lifter at Power Surge, and there are some things that I probably will not use. Let me think about that a little more, and then I can get back to you guys in terms of what we can do to celebrate 666 subscribers. I actually think I have been here before and then it dropped down, so maybe it's bots or people just don't like me, but whatever, that's okay. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.
You have understanding, look at the number, for it is an evil number. Its number is 666, from the Old Testament to the New Testament to the Book of Revelations. Clifton Bow will raise the bar.